from the Lakeside Newsroom of the Henrico Citizen, your hometown news source since 2001. This is the Henrico News Minute with publisher Tom Lapis.
Well, it was another good election day for Democrats in Henrico County, and another Henrico school reports a case of COVID-19. We'll have details about those stories and more in today's Henrico News Minute for Thursday, November 5th, 2020. It's brought to you today by Commonwealth Catholic Charities.
And now for the news.
Well, it was a roller coaster 22-hour period for the two candidates in the 7th Congressional District race. Abigail Spanberger, the incumbent Democrat, and challenger Nick Freitas, a Republican, were locked in a tight race that went into the evening hours on Wednesday before it was called for Spanberger, who leads by about 5,100 votes, with some 19,000 ballots still potentially out there. Freitas held an almost 50,000 vote lead late on election night, but that total reflected only in-person voters on election day and not any absentee ballots. Many of those ballots were reported in the early morning hours on Wednesday, and they swung heavily in favor of Spanberger. She closed that gap to just 273 votes. Freitas then extended it to about a 1,300 vote lead later on Wednesday, but Spanberger took the lead for good when about 34,000 absentee votes posted from Spotsylvania County, and Spanberger won about 2,300 more votes than Freitas did in that batch. Henrico County officials also located 14,000 additional absentee ballots that had been placed on a memory stick and had been mislabeled as provisional ballots, according to the Virginia Public Access Project. Spanberger also won a majority of those votes, which extended her lead to about 5,100. Now, VPAP says there are about 19,000 other absentee ballots that were issued to voters. It's unknown how many of those are being returned by mail and how many will return in time to be counted, although it's unlikely that they would make a difference in the final outcome of the race, but they could bring it close enough to warrant a recount. Spanberger claimed victory on Wednesday evening, while Freitas said he will withhold an official statement about the race until all votes in the district have been canvassed on Friday. Election day also was good for other Democrats in Henrico County. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden earned 63% of the county's vote, a total of almost 110,000 to Donald Trump's 61,000. The state was called for Biden on Tuesday night. Elsewhere, incumbent Democratic Senator Mark Warner outdistanced his Republican challenger Daniel Gade by almost the exact same margin as Biden claimed over Trump in Henrico. Warner also was declared the victor in his race on Tuesday night. In the 4th Congressional District, incumbent Democrat Donald McEachin breezed to a victory over Republican Leon Benjamin, earning 61% of the vote to Benjamin's 39%. In Henrico, McEachin earned an even larger share of the vote, garnering 76% to Benjamin's 23%. And Henrico voters, like their counterparts statewide, also overwhelmingly supported the two state constitutional amendments on the ballot. One will establish a 16-member redistricting committee consisting of 8 General Assembly members and 8 citizens to redraw congressional and state legislative districts. 72% of Henrico voters approved that measure, compared with about 66% who endorsed it statewide. And the second amendment will eliminate the state and local tax on personal vehicles of veterans who have had service-related permanent disabilities. It passed statewide with 86% of the vote. In Henrico, that percentage was 85%. There were 36 new cases of COVID-19 and 5 new COVID-related hospitalizations reported in Henrico on Wednesday, according to the Virginia Department of Health. The county's 7-day positivity percentage remained steady at 4.9% as of October 31st. The county has now experienced a total of 6,655 confirmed cases of the virus since the pandemic began. Pemberton Elementary School is the latest in Henrico to report a case of COVID-19. It happened November 3rd on Tuesday. It occurred in an employee who was last in the building October 29th. It was the first case at Pemberton, and it brings to 55 the total number of cases reported by the school system in 37 school buildings since August 12th. Beginning next Monday, Henrico County will provide its annual leaf collection services with both free and paid options for county residents. There's free collection of bagged leaves scheduled through February 13th. Crews will work week to week in 5 different zones. Each one will receive 2 pickups during the course of the program. It's provided automatically if you live in one of the zones. You can visit henricocitizen.com and click on Government to look for this article and find a link to those zones. If you live outside one of those areas, you can order free pickup of bagged leaves by calling 727-8770. The county also will offer a vacuum leaf collection, also beginning next week and running through the end of the year. And again, in February and March, residents can order the $30 service by calling 501-4275. You can also take your leaves to either of the county's public use areas at 2075 Charles City Road or 10600 Ford's Country Lane. You can deposit them there for free from November 9th through February 13th. Today's Henrico News Minute has been brought to you by Commonwealth Catholic Charities. Change the world for a teen who needs you. Become a foster parent. Learn about Commonwealth Catholic Charities' International Foster Care Program today. Call 804-545-5949 or visit cccofva.org to learn more.